Well, it's a little early to talk about it now, but I'm happy to get off to a great start, and I'd love to be in the thick of it on Sunday. And if I'm good enough, it'd be amazing.
Putts that would have dropped maybe in the front nine just kind of didn't. It was close, but just not in. And that's what you're going to get. There are going to be some putts where it drops and you don't expect it to, and then some putts that just don't drop at all. Even on 9, I kind of nearly did a fist pump, but I pulled it back because it didn't go in.
Oh yeah, you can't win a tournament on the first day, but you can definitely lose it. And I definitely still think I'm in there. I kind of held it together today. There's a lot of opportunities where I had to make good par saves, and I did that today. I'm proud of myself for that. And I definitely feel like I'm still in there. Definitely not as many birdies as I want to, but it's a tough golf course, so I think that just gotta try to make pars and try to take birdies as when you can.
Round 2 of the U.S. Women's Open in Lancaster, Pennsylvania at beautiful Lancaster Country Club. Par 70, world number 1 Inbee Park thrives in these elite championships, looking for win number 7 in the majors.
This putt on the 12th hole, straight up the hill, will break to the left. And Inbee Park, one of the best putters in the world. You kind of expect that from her.
Another solid round of golf. She's at 2 under for the tournament. Lizette Salas at number 4.
This hole was moved up today for a really tough hole location, tucked on the front. But not so much for Lizette. She doesn't even have to walk with a putter in her hand.
Such an exciting player. Great to see her with a big smile on her face. A round of 69. She's at even. Defending champion Michelle Wie. A lot of doubt loomed over her head, but she's playing.
And quite rightly so too. And actually putting in quite a decent performance. This on a really tough, long par 3 8th. And showing us why she is actually so good.
She would get the birdie. And after the tee shot, she's pounding on that left leg. She's had a lot of hip issues. She's been fighting this for a very long time. Wie with a round of 68, hanging in there. Stacey Lewis, who started on the back 9, this at 17.
17th, another one of those tricky par 3s, difficult hitting across yourself to that front right hole location, but no trouble for Stacey, who is one of the few players that can move the ball both ways.
Hit all the fairways, all but 2 of the greens, this for birdie.
And this really is the part of Stacey's game that really needs to come on fire for the weekend if she wants to take home the trophy.
And she surges with a 67. She's at 4 under. Amy Yang after a birdie at 11, here at 12.
This hole much has been moved up from yesterday. With a back hole location, players are able to attack it with clubs as short as 9 irons.
From 145. So she would make it. She's at 5 under. It's a 2-shot lead. She is not done yet. She's tearing a path.
And not only does Amy hit the ball very well, and I believe she has one of the best swings in the game, I really love the tempo of her putting stroke. She allows herself plenty of time at the top for transition, creating consistent strokes.
6 under and a 3-shot lead. Is she going to get to 7? We pick her up at 14.
And I'm just standing here, Kelly, in awe of that golf swing. I really love watching it.
And yes, she would. 4 straight birdies. And I'm standing next to the woman who made 6 straight birdies in a U.S. Open. You know how hard that is.
Yeah, it's brutal. So what a great performance there by Amy, and she's right where she wants to be.
Strong history at the Women's Open. 3 top 5 finishes since 2010 for the woman from South Korea. Strong round for Stacey Lewis, who hasn't won a tour event in more than a year. Inbee Park just 5 back, headed to the weekend. Michelle Wie, the defending champion, at even par. Still not out of this. Yang and Lewis are the leading contenders with a combined 10 birdies on Friday at the U.S. Women's Open.
I think I just enjoy it out here. Enjoy the toughest golf courses. I know it's not gonna be easy, and I always prepare with my coach right before I come to U.S. Open, and I don't know. I think I just focus, I guess, extra.
As things stand right now, I'll be in the final group tomorrow, which is right where you want to be. I like the way I played today. I definitely actually could have been a couple more lower if I'd made a few putts. So I was just happy with the way the ball striking today, because you have to hit fairways on this golf course. And
third round highlights from the U.S. Women's Open at Lancaster Country Club in Pennsylvania. Chella Choi was on the verge of something historical. This is at number 9. She was out early, way ahead of the final groups. This at the par 4 for birdie to light up the front 9 in the lowest 9-hole score in U.S. Women's Open history. 29. Count them, folks. On to the back 9. She's trying to cap off Karen with a birdie for the lowest score shot in U.S. Women's Open history of 62.
Oh, and that's a heartbreaking end to a fantastic round, but Chella, she gave herself a pat on the back anyway and was still smiling and was just happy to have a great round.
Settles for 64. She's at 2 under. Lee Lopez at the par 3 6th.
Very accessible hole, 156 yards. Short and left. She's playing out the run. Can it? Will it? Oh, wow. Beautiful golf shot.
22nd hole in one in this championship's history. She was at +3 after that. Michelle Wie, the defending champion in her one and only major victory, coming at Pinehurst last year at the par 5 13th.
And putting on a great shot here from 85 yards. Nicely judged.
She gets 2 under with a round of 68. Rock solid final group action. Amy Yang, she's been in control of this tournament through 36 holes.
She's been solid through every facet of her game, including her putting. Beautiful putt there for birdie.
Got it to 8 under, and Stacey Lewis, it was similar to a match play situation. These two kind of breaking away from the pack yesterday, and it stayed that way as she got it to 5 under there, trailing by 3. Lewis at 14.
She certainly wasn't going to back down. She's a fighter. She's been in this position before. Last year's U.S. Women's Open. Came up a little bit short, not trying to fall too far back. Beautifully placed.
Birdie to get the 6 under. That would come her way. Back to Amy Yang at 9 under par. Third shot, same hole.
And it's never a good thing to be beyond the flags here at Lancaster Country Club. And you can see just a really quick, slippery chip. Didn't really have much chance to get that one close.
She would drop a shot with the bogey. It's a 2-shot swing. Stacey Lewis at 17 to save par.
And I thought this was a critical putt in the day, and she just hits it a little bit too firm and through the break.
Amy Yang has had 10 career top 10s in the majors and 3 top 5s in this major since 2010. This is hers to win or lose. Stacey Lewis is 5 under for the week with 5 3-putts. She's tied for second in greens and regulation. Inbee Park also featured on page 1, chasing major number 7. She's only made 3 birdies in the last 2 days. Her putter is holding her back. Amy Yang on the verge of her first major win and feels ready to close it out.
Me and my coach, we worked hard and we focused on, U.S. Open, and we practiced hard. So, I believe I can do well.
I think I hit every fairway today, which was good, but really just can't give away shots like I did today. And, I expect Amy to play really well, so I got to be on top of things tomorrow.
I think my wedge game today, my shorter irons, I felt pretty good with. But, just overall, it's just all feel like it's, coming together. I just want to keep the good feelings going and, keep improving on them, gain confidence from my good shots and learn from the bad ones. And, I feel like I'm doing that, so I just want to keep on doing what I'm doing.
It was a nail-biter down the stretch at the U.S. Women's Open at Lancaster Country Club in Pennsylvania. Stacey Lewis started the day trailing Amy Yang by 3 shots. We pick her up at 13. It's a par 5, this from 81 yards for her third.
Hole is tight behind that bunker. Stacey Lewis trying to get something going again and producing a great wedge.
That to 6 feet. She would get the birdie. She has just 1 back at this point. Yang is struggling in this final round. Say hello to In-Gee Chun on the 15th hole. This for birdie to become a big part of this story.
15th hole, absolutely brutal hole, massive dogleg right. And In-Gee Chun making a rare birdie.
And taking the lead in the U.S. Open, Stacey Lewis at 15. Driver.
And got a little bit ahead of that one. This one is going to go right, and there is no good on the right side of this hole.
She has struggled when the stakes have been very high. She would make the bogey, drop to 5 under, trailing by a pair. Back to Chun, the drivable par 4 16th.
Hit it into the greenside bunker on the right. Played a tremendous bunker shot today. It was very difficult sloping away and would convert.
2 straight birdies for a 3-shot lead. Back to Amy Yang. What a struggle it has been. She needs to be clutch now. The drivable 16th.
Just using a 3-wood, and you can see the pro tracer there is telling us exactly where this ball is going, and that's going to leave herself a great chance at eagle.
From 11 feet, all over that flag. Now the eagle putt.
Has to aim this one about a foot out to the right of the hole. Oh, what perfect speed as well.
Trying to break through for her first major win, just like In-Gee Chun. Back to In-Gee at 17, the par 3 from 170.
Really tricky hole location, tucked over the bunker on the left. Didn't think anybody would get that close to it. What an aggressive shot by somebody that is in the lead of the US Open.
3 straight birdies. This is supposed to be a hard championship, and she's making it look easy. It's a 2-shot lead. Amy Yang at the 17th to get within 1. That putter had failed her earlier in the round, but it has come alive when she needs it the most. She's trailing by a shot. Chun on the last hole had to lay up after missing the fairway. This for par.
And she's been so good with the putter. Oh, what a great stroke, but doesn't quite get the ball to drop.
Doors open. Amy Yang on the 18th. She too missed the fairway. Had to lay up like Chun. This to force a playoff, and that one left all the way. So it's In-Gee Chun taking the 2015 U.S. Women's Open. Chun celebrates her 21st birthday on August 10th. With this win in Lancaster, she becomes the 3rd youngest U.S. Women's Open champion behind 2 more South Koreans, In-Bee Park and Seri Pak. Outstanding accomplishment for Chun, who's competing in only her 8th LPGA Tour event. She talked to Lisa Cornwell.
In-Gee, congratulations. When you made that birdie putt at the 15th hole, you took the lead for the first time. What were the emotions like when you found out that you had taken command of the United States Women's Open?
15번 홀에 버디를 하면서 리더보드에 제일 위로 올라가면서 드디어 선두로 나섰는데 그때 US 오픈에서의 선두로 가는 느낌이 어땠는지.
사실 15번 홀에서 버디하고 나서 선두로 올라가는지는 전혀 모르고 있었어요. 그 상황에서 일단 리더보드를 확인하지 않은 상태였고 그냥 버디를 하고 그냥 다음 홀에서 어떻게 공략할지 이런 생각들로 또 집중해 있었기 때문에 그런 생각들은 전혀 할 수가 없었어요.
Right at the moment that I made a birdie on the 15th hole, I didn't know I was leading the tournament at all. So all I could think at that moment was, what's next? What I could do for the next hole, and that was it.
So the last 2 women's major champions are named In-Gee and In-Bee, and both were a part of this Sunday story as well. Amy Yang now has 4 top 5s in her last 6 U.S. Open starts. Stacey Lewis logs her 13th top 3 finish on tour since the beginning of last season. So many close calls, and she had a chance again on Sunday, but derailed by a late double bogey. We hear now from the stars who gave Chun all they had.
Good week, great week, good experience again. That is, it didn't go like what I expected, but I learned something new, things again, and it's going to make me more improved.
Ball striking is really getting there, getting to where I really wanted to, but just the putting is just not getting there easily. I definitely did not putt well at all, yesterday and today. I hit the ball great last 2 days, but just, left it out there, so I got to work on my putting a little bit more.
Yeah, I think anytime you have a championship like this, you want somebody to go out there and win it. And that's definitely what happened there at the end. I was pulling for Amy. I wanted to see a playoff. I wanted to see them come up 18 again, just with all the crowds there. But, that's what you want. You want things to happen at the end of a tournament like that. And for both of them to birdie 17 is pretty unbelievable to me. So they both played some unbelievable golf.
Karen Stupples has mentioned 2 names this week as it relates to the outcome of this championship. She started the week saying Stacey Lewis, who was right there until the bitter end. And she led our pregame this morning saying, look out for In-Gee Chun today. Why?
She is ranked top 20 in the world, and she is a fantastic player from Korea. She's got 8 wins on the Korean tour already, and that's something really impressive. Everybody that knows women's golf from Korea knows that she was a person to watch for the future, and she's just proved it this week.
Yeah, walking in the footsteps of Seri Pak, who broke through for her U.S. Women's Open in 1998 at Black Wolf Run, and of course In-Bee Park, who broke through 10 years later in 2008 at the age of 19. And now you have it, In-Gee Chun at the age of 20, and she will be 21 in just a few weeks' time. Notable names include many of your favorites, including the Dame, Laura Davies, the 1987 U.S. Open winner, left her indelible mark on both sides of the pond in her prime years, a great champion, superb athlete, and a mainstay in Solheim Cup competition. She is on a jet to St. Andrews to be inducted into the Hall of Fame on Monday. This was Davies after the round.
Well, I think playing in those 12 Solheims, the first 12, was a good thing. It means you're consistent. It means you had a good long career. And obviously the US Open I won in '87 that started everything off. This is the one that everyone wants to win, the US Open, and to win it once was nice. I'd love to have done it again, but yeah, US Open and all the Solheim Cups I think are the best bit.
It's going to be a great day for Laura Davies and all involved at the World Golf Hall of Fame ceremony at the home of golf. She has a lot to ponder on this trip across the pond. This class of 2015 combines for 8 major championships, more than 100 worldwide wins, and of course the legendary architect A.W. Tillinghast, responsible for more than 100 course designs in his career, storied one that it is, including Winged Foot and Baltusrol, among other great